Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. It's Monday, but the stock market's not open today. We got an official holiday, which means we have a shortened trading week. Now, what happens on shortened trading weeks? Usually on the Tuesday after a long weekend, the stock market opens lower. We'll see if that happens. Now, I do think we are close to a bottom here. I think we're close to a bottom here because if you look at the weekly charts of the QQQ, the SPY, they're sitting right above their 200-week moving average. And I think that 200-week moving average is going to hold. Now, they could come down a little bit here and touch the 200-week moving average, but I think the easy money has already been made on the short side. Now, if you were short back in January, you'd be looking to take profits right now. So right now, a lot of people are getting ready to put short positions on. I just think that's wrong. I think the easy money in the short positions has already been made. I'm looking for what's called the short covering rally. When everybody starts to get short, there's too many people on one side of the boat. And what happens is you get a short covering rally. You get a rally up, and all those people want to get over to the other side of the boat. So that rally becomes a very strong rally. Short covering rallies are some of the strongest rallies that we have. And that's what I'm expecting to see. Now, will we bottom out this week? I think we will. I think we'll see the bottom this week, and I think we'll reverse higher. It's a short week. I mean, we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just 4 days, right? And if Tuesday is a down day, then that means that Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday is going to be the start of that short covering rally. Once again, this is my opinion. Could I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be wrong. Am I betting on this? I'm betting on the short covering rally. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So that's what I got going on today. I got nothing going on. Stock market's closed, so why am I making a video? Well, I love you guys. I got no one else to talk to. It's you and me here today. So that's great. So let's move on to the real estate market. Now, the real estate market's always open, right? Well, yes and no. I do think we're getting a lot of what's called buyer's remorse in the market right now. There is buyer's remorse out there because prices are actually starting to go down. I know a lot of real estate agents that are in denial of that. I know a lot of people that are in denial of that because prices could never come down in their area, and that's fine. That's fine. Everybody's got an opinion. I got an opinion. You got an opinion. But where I see a lot of buyer's remorse is in the second properties. Here's what's happened. Okay, so people see their principal residence going up, right? And they're thinking, wow, if I had 2 of these, I could make money. So we're going to buy the second one, and we're going to use it for Airbnb. We're going to rent it out on a nightly basis because that way we can get those rents really up there. We'll kind of operate it like a little mini hotel, and we'll be rolling in the dough. Look at, here's the thing. New York City, right? New York City, they have more Airbnb units available than they have rental units available. And this is a problem in a lot of cities. A lot of cities are starting to notice this. They're going, well, wait a minute. The reason rents are so high is there's nothing available to rent. And that's partially true, right? If there's nothing to rent, the rents go up. Okay, so what are the cities starting to do? Well, they're starting to outlaw the Airbnb rentals. They're saying, hey, you can't rent on a nightly basis. You can't even rent on a weekly basis. You got to rent on a monthly basis for a minimum of 6 months. And that just wipes out the Airbnb units. Now, I've had a couple clients in the past that have bought houses, and they bought them so that they could rent them out as an Airbnb unit. And if you do the numbers on those, the rents are just off the chart. I got one guy, he's right next to Apple Computer, and a lot of people fly in on business and they rent his Airbnb by the night. Well, the city just changed it that he can't do that anymore. He can only rent it out monthly. So anyways, a lot of that has gone away. And now what's happened though? What's happened is fascinating. These people, they own their second home and they were getting Airbnb money, but now if they just go to market rent, it doesn't make sense because their mortgage payment's so high, especially in my area. That mortgage payment's high because they bought it with the mortgage. They bought it on leverage and they can't get the rent money now. So what are they doing? Well, they got to comply with the city. So what they're doing is they're kind of making it like a little boarding house. They putting 10, 12 people in these houses. I mean, it's like cocoon style living. You get a little pod, right? And this maybe is the future, at least in California. It seems to be the trend. You get 10 or 12 people living in a house in a typical neighborhood. Now, what does this do? Well, you got 10 or 12 cars for that one house. I mean, that's just, I don't know, the neighbors get a little upset when you're parking and blocking their driveways. Everybody's trying to find a parking spot. The density becomes really dense. Now, in California, they passed a law recently that says, well, if you have so many square feet, you can add what's called an ADU, an auxiliary dwelling unit. And, well, now this has been misinterpreted by a lot of people. An auxiliary dwelling unit would be like putting an in-law quarters in your backyard and then renting that out. And once again, that increases the density in the neighborhoods with the parking problem and other problems. But a lot of people are starting to put in ADUs. Now, there was this fascinating guy, Mountain View. Oh, you gotta love this guy. Anyways, he set up 3 tents in his backyard. 3 tents in his backyard, right? He was charging $1,500 a month for each tent. So he's getting $4,500 for his backyard. That's incredible. He's just a smart thinker. But stuff like this was going on, right? I mean, okay, so, and you know, I mean, okay, if you're a homeless guy, maybe a $1,500 is an option. And you think, oh, $1,500? Mike, he's homeless. How can he afford $1,500? You might be right on that. Now let's talk about the homeless situation a little bit. We live in a very fascinating country, right? I mean, in this country, there's about 15 million vacant houses right now. 15 million. All right, but yet the homeless problem has never been bigger. And now the different states, they're handling the homeless in different ways. Now, for example, Tennessee, they've made it a felony to be homeless. That's basically what they're doing. If you are like camping on public property, it is a felony, and it's punishable by 6 years in prison, and of course you lose your voting rights. It's a felony, and that's how Tennessee is getting rid of the homeless people in Nashville. Now, I don't think that's the answer personally. Now, we could look at Denver. Denver's got a huge homeless problem. I never knew that Denver had so many homeless people, but they're third behind New York and Los Angeles. Okay, they're the third one behind them, and their homeless problem just in the last year has doubled. Okay, so what are they doing? Well, they're spending $100 million to create 2 campuses for homeless people while they're transitioning in and out of homelessness. You can go live on these campuses. Now, that's fascinating also. I don't really think that's the answer. Maybe it is. You can voice your opinion in the comments. I don't have the answer completely. Now, in California, we just go crazy. I mean, we spend billions of dollars to solve the homeless problem, but we've got nothing to show for it. I mean, they tried this project down in LA and they were building units to house the homeless. Now, the problem was the units ran over budget, and they $800,000 a unit to house a homeless person. Now, that doesn't seem like the answer either, but this is one of my really favorite ones in California. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. There is a homeless, let's call it a homeless program in California, where if you're a senior in high school and you're homeless, you get $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month. Now, when I went to high school, I mean, we had a couple people that didn't like their family, so they would stay at other people's houses. I guess by today's standards, those people would be considered homeless. Now, they were going to give me $1,000 a month to run away from home when I was a senior in high school. I probably would have done it. Gone and stayed in my friends, lived in my car, done something to get that $1,000 a month. But what it does, it teaches socialism at a very young age. And in California, we want them to get that socialism ingrained in their mind at a very young age because we are a very socialistic state, right? I mean, right now in California, there's 750,000 people not paying their rent. Why don't they pay their rent? Well, Governor Newsom, he says he's going to do it. All right, so that's what we do in California. So there's 3 different ways, right? There's, you got the Tennessee way where you make it a felony and lock them up for 6 years and take away their voting rights. You got the Denver way where you got that transition campuses. There are 2 of them, $100 million being spent there. Or you got California where we just throw money at the problem. We don't have a solution whatsoever. But the homeless problem is a problem. And I think that some of this Airbnb raising the price of rents is making more and more people homeless. That's just my opinion. I love Airbnb. It's a great thing to use when you're traveling. Now, a lot of people aren't traveling as much because we got that thing called the recession. And I think that's going to create create more pressure on these Airbnb units. They're just going to be sitting vacant also to go along with the 15 million properties we already got sitting vacant. So we probably have some more vacant properties coming. But now let's talk about the recession that's coming. Now some people say, Mike, there's no recession. The economy's the strongest ever. Well, maybe yes, maybe no, right? That we just raised the rates and apparently the stock market's not liking that so far. I guarantee you the real estate market's not going to like these rate increases, but I know homes can't go down in your area, but we got a recession coming, maybe even a depression if we keep raising the rates. But what's the alternative? We don't raise the rates. And now when they do reverse course, and mark my words, the Federal Reserve will reverse course. They have no stomach for what's going to happen if they keep raising rates like they plan. They cannot stomach it. As who was that? Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. Well, they cannot handle the truth. They can't stomach it if they keep raising rates. So they're going to reverse course. They're going to lower rates, and they're going to keep buying assets. They have to. Otherwise we go into the Great Depression. Now, what happens when they reverse course and lower rates and buy assets? Well, we go into hyperinflation. Now, people, they think I'm a little bit negative, and maybe I am. But I think those are the two choices we got right now. You want Great Depression? You want hyperinflation? If you got another answer for me, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I'm open-minded. I'm not set in my ways. I'm old, but I'm not set in my ways. Anyways, I just wanted to get a little rant going on a Monday because the stock market's closed, and I got nothing to do but talk to you guys. I love to talk to you guys, so give me the thumbs up. Why not? Why not? It's Monday. Get out there. Have a great Monday, everybody. We'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.